Hello and welcome back to Ask Allison. Here is today's question. I don't have a lot of money to start a private practice. What don't I need to spend on? Love this. This is something I actually get asked about a lot. And over a decade of experience now helping people start practices, I've got some pretty strong opinions. So I don't want this to feel financially overwhelming. So we're going to talk about some areas where scrimping is totally okay and might even be better for your business long term. Might not even be a temporary situation. So first, I would like to thank Therapy Notes for sponsoring Ask Allison. They're the #1 rated electronic health record system available today. They have live telephone support 7 days a week, and it makes it clear why Therapy Notes is rated 4.9 out of 5 stars on Trustpilot and has a 5-star rating on Google. They make billing, scheduling, note-taking, and telehealth incredibly easy. And for all you prescribers out there, they do offer e-prescribe. So if you're coming from another EHR, Therapy Notes makes the transition incredibly easy. They import your demographic data free of charge, so you can get going right away. Find out what more than 100,000 mental health professionals already know. You can use promo code ABUNDANT at therapynotes.com, and that'll give you 2 free months to play with it. All right, so if you want to work online only, you can save on office rent. There's a good way to scrimp. And for those of you that strongly prefer in person, I am not here to tell you you need to do online to save money. Back before online was such a thing, most of us had to pay office rent when we were first starting out. So here's what I think you should focus on with your office. Like, we'd all love a beautifully, fully decorated office from day one, but that's not really in our best interest as a new business. So in your first year, profit is going to be a lot more important than the cute vase you got. I often compare it to living in a dorm during college. You might not love the space, but it gets the job done. So I would say instead of spending money on decor and stuff like that, a cute couch, like, you can get good enough, all of that. Also, instead of paying for a solo office, consider subleasing and sharing an office. That way you can save money by splitting the rent, and you can schedule different days. And that way it keeps you from overworking too, which is great. You can save for your dream office later. Sometimes I see people getting caught up in sponsoring events. They might be networking and somebody's like, oh, well, you should sponsor this event that this thing that I volunteer for is putting on. I would say it's only worth it if it really aligns with your niche and has the potential to bring in clients. I once looked into sponsoring a table at an eating disorder professional conference that less than 100 people were going to attend, and it was $1,200. So just the simple math of, like, how many people am I going to bring into this was for practice building, obviously. How many of these less than 100 people would the practice building be a good fit for? It just didn't make sense at $1,200. So I want you to do the same kind of math for anything that you're considering sponsoring. I would honestly instead just focus on working a marketing plan that's going to give you better return on your investment. Google AdWords is another tempting option. It sounds like easy exposure, but in reality, it's really expensive. And many people, especially your younger clients, aren't going to click on ads. I've hired 2 different companies to do AdWords for me, and I never got a return on my investment with either of them. There are other much more engaging ways to reach people, like social media or organic search efforts. So unless you really know AdWords is going to work for your audience, I would say to skip it. You need a website, but that doesn't have to be like a custom masterpiece. DIY platforms like Squarespace, they're affordable, they're user-friendly. If you're willing to dive in and make a simple but attractive and effective site, I would say go for Squarespace. It's going to save you a lot of money, but if you are getting stuck and you're procrastinating and you're telling yourself you can't do it, then it might make sense to invest in help, because you really, really do need a website. But you truly could knock out a website in a weekend. So if you're doing it yourself, so keep that in mind. Social media is free. If you love it and you're using a proven social strategy, that can be an option for getting clients. Consistency is really key on social media. So if you're counting it as a marketing strategy, make sure you're actually using marketing best practices and the best practices for getting clients in the door, not just for getting followers, because that's a totally different thing. I also strongly suggest you have an EHR like Therapy Notes as soon as you have clients. It makes your practice run so much smoother, but I would wait until you have clients. You don't have to get it before you have clients to put in the system. And once you do have clients, as I mentioned before, you can get 2 months for free of Therapy Notes if you use the promo code ABUNDANT. So I would wait, and then get 2 free months and then start paying. And by then you should have some income rolling in. Um, you also don't have to spend thousands on practice building either. A month of the abundance party, a whole month of it costs a lot less than even one session of therapy, even if it's like a really poorly reimbursing insurance session. So you can learn everything you need to learn to have a thriving practice for so much less than all the other programs out there, including some of my other programs. And that's why we have thousands of party grads, because people often can't afford the higher ticket items that are out there. But the party gets you set up. It gets you all the knowledge you need. And all you have to do, if you will implement, all you have to do is implement, and then you can have a full practice. So those are my top areas to save when you're starting out. Remember, saving wisely is about focusing on your return on investment, spending where you'll see growth and holding back on what can wait. Today's free worksheet is a return on investment calculator. And if you want to get that, you can DM me the word sheets. And you'll also get all the past worksheets in the series that you'll have access to. And that way you can really vet each thing you're considering spending money on with math, because we need to do that. We're not typically mathy people as therapists, but we, as business owners, we need to be. All right. I hope you have a really great day. Take care.